Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football YouTube channel. It is a Wednesday. Arsenal are into the final of the Carabao Cup. We're going to Wembley and there's plenty to talk about. I hope you're all doing well. There's loads of you in the chat. We're going to be talking about Odegaard and Saka. Arteta's given an update on their injuries. We're going to be talking about Tonali, Bouaddi, a couple of potential summer signings. We'll go over yesterday's game, talk a bit about that, talk about some of the commentary and the media analysis around it. And we'll start looking ahead to the Sunderland game at the weekend. Before we get into anything else, if you could please subscribe. We're on the way now to 33,000 subscribers. If you could like the stream as well, I'd be massively grateful. Those of you that are here early, those early likes do help. VV Vlad's in the building. Robert, Ethan Udall, Cheyenne, Pelzer, Sam Berry, Rian, Reggie Sipple. Good to see you. Simon, Beck, Guna, Lewis Martin, Chicago Guna, Edwin, welcome. Peter, Hyper Protagonist is here. It is good to see you. The only Arsenal commentator worth listening to. I appreciate it. There are actually many other good ones, but I do appreciate that. Big win yesterday. Love the tears. Yeah, me too. The thing is, the tears from Chelsea fans I get, it's all the other people. It's all the non-Chelsea fans that are still just... You're like, what's wrong with you? You know? And like I said, some of the commentary yesterday, absolutely crazy. Stabber's back. Good to see you. I'm going to my first game on Saturday. I'm so excited. Very nice. Sunderland at home, 3 p.m. kickoff. Should be a good game. The players do need to get themselves up for it again, though. Collab with Curtis Shaw. You know. Fofana crying was brilliant. It was. What's the prize money for the cup? Barely anything. 2 million quid, I think. I think you get 2 million quid for winning the Carabao Cup. It is by far and away the least valuable cup in terms of prize money. You know, you want to win it because it's a trophy, not for any other reason. There we go. Gary Neville on comms was so bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to listen to it. To be honest, right? When you do watch a game in the stadium, so often you'll come away thinking a bunch of things and then a load of people online will think something else. And then you watch the game back and you understand the commentary has massively warped people's opinions. Like if a commentator decides to really hone in on something in the game and put that point across a lot, so many people will then just go with the point. And you start being like, well, I don't know what I've watched. Obviously, I think even idiots could see that Neville was off his rocker yesterday, but had to switch over to ITV. Neville was unbearable. Yeah, I don't blame you. Beck, thank you very, very much for the $1.99. Good morning, sports fans. How are we doing? I think we're all doing pretty well. And I hope you are doing well as well, Beck. Yeah. Listen, another win. It's the fact it was Chelsea. It was Chelsea, and they'd been getting rowdy. Oh, but wait until we've got Caicedo and Cole Palmer. Wait until we play them with Caicedo and Cole Palmer. Maybe they should have played. Frederick, thank you very, very much for the £5. Hey, Rory, I've been investing in Havertz for years. Glad to see it's finally paying off. Who do you think starts in goal? See you at Wembley. Yeah, I hope to see you at Wembley. I need to try and get a ticket somehow. I don't think tickets are going to go beyond season ticket holders. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, really. Who do you think starts in goal? I think he'll start Kepa in goal, and I think I'll disagree with him again. That's just the way it's going to be. But, yeah. I would imagine it'll be Kepa. In fairness, I think, have Man City been playing with Trafford in goal in the Carabao Cup? They probably have, right? Rice absolutely schooled them. Yeah, he did. Rice schooled them. I mean, I thought Hincapié was so good yesterday defensively. I've seen about 100 angles of Havertz's goal. The best thing about Kai Havertz's goal was that because everyone was waiting for the final whistle, and some people will say you shouldn't get your phone out and record things at the game, right? But the amount of people that had their phone out filming, ready for the final whistle, that then got the goal on camera is so good. So good. Alex from A Different Knock has given me a different perspective of football and Arsenal. What a legend. Yeah, Alex is great. Alex is great. How do you rate Hincapie's performance? Yeah, quality. Listen, I've been, not to toot my own horn, but I've been defending Hincapie a lot this season. I felt at times he'd been really unfairly criticised by Arsenal fans. Given that he arrived at the club injured, he had no pre-season, you are literally walking into, right now, the best team in Europe. There's so much to adapt to. And it was like, early performances, I could see that he had a lot of the basic raw things that I love in a player, in terms of just the tenacity, the heart, the athleticism. He had a lot of that, reads the game quite well. And there were just some, elements of his game that need polishing, and they still do need polishing. But we saw that with Calafiori last season too. So yeah, I'm very happy with his performance. And again, so often we just need to give players more time. Like, I don't know how many players need to walk through the door, struggle a little bit at first, and then get way better before we go, okay, players need time, because they are leveling up massively when they arrive at Arsenal. We saw it at Havertz, Calafiori, Mikel Marino. You and Seb should go on Saturday Social for the North London derby. It's not as easy as that, to be fair. It's there's so many, especially with Arsenal. There are so many massive content creators. So it is about time Seb made his debut on there, though. To be fair, I will say it's about time Seb got the call up for a debut on there. By the way, we decided last night there is a back post watch along for Liverpool versus City on Sunday. We will be live on the back post in the studio for Liverpool versus City on Sunday. So feel free to tune into that. Obviously, I will be rooting for Liverpool. I would imagine Tobes and Seb will both be, they definitely will both be rooting for City. So looking forward to that. Has Rory been on? Yeah, I went on once about over a year ago now, actually. You're the biggest Arsenal creator? Nowhere near. You, especially because YouTube is bigger than TikTok in terms of if you're big on YouTube, you're bigger. And then obviously you've got like Don Robbie and stuff go on there, who are obviously different level. How's your Chelsea mate? Was he crying his eyes out like the players? I enjoyed watching the live stream back, the reaction to Kai Havertz's goal. They had Byrne on there, who's also a Chelsea fan. And his reaction, head in hands, when Havertz was celebrating was fantastic. This has gone on since 23-24. What are your thoughts on the Palmer, Saka and Foden? Right now, if we're completely honest, right now, neither Palmer nor Saka nor Foden are anywhere near the level they were in 23-24. 23-24 was conversation because the three of them were so good. Right now, I mean, Palmer really struggling. I think they've screwed him over by not doing the surgery on his groin. Foden just seems to have gone off the boil again, which, last season, there were various things going on supposedly with Foden. Not even supposedly, I think it's been confirmed. And so you were like, fair enough, stuff going on behind the scenes. But then this season, he started the season really well, but then he's fallen off again. And with Saka, I just think it's been sort of ongoing injury issues that have stopped him hitting his peak. But yeah, it's interesting. Nid, thank you very, very much for being a member for 18 months. The channel has been growing like prime COVID-19. Anyway, like the stream and subscribe. Also links for the Back Post podcast. Nid, I appreciate it. Absolute legend of the channel. Wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you very, very much for the 18 months. Has Palmer got the same injury that ESR had? Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Pubalgia, which I don't think they were calling it that when Smith Rowe had it. It was weird, but a lot of young players that have played a lot of games have now got it. Lamine Yamal's had it. Nico Williams has been struggling with it. Cole Palmer's struggling with it. It's not good. It's not for the future of the game in terms of young players getting this thing. It's quite a chronic condition. And if you look at, Smith Rowe, you look at the pace he used to run with the ball at, 4 or 5 years ago. Compared to now, it's crazy. It's crazy. Smith Rowe was called a thigh issue, no? So basically, it's all around like the top of your. It's all around like the top of your leg, basically. So it's pubalgia. It's in that region, like your pubic region. So it's like your groin, the top of your thigh. It's that area. So, and that's why it's confusing, because sometimes it's described as a groin issue, an ongoing groin issue. With Smith Rowe, it was a thigh issue. I mean, Smith Rowe also, I think, had a thigh muscle injury and a different injury, but. Kai Havertz made himself an Arsenal icon last night. Havertz's goal celebration will be a highlight to remember if we win something big this season. Fact. Oh, completely. I love how much Kai Havertz hates Chelsea. Like, undoubtedly, the biggest moment of his career was at Chelsea. It was literally winning the Champions League with Chelsea. Like, not many footballers will even ever have a moment as big as that in their career. And he did that at Chelsea. And he hates them. And I love it. And Madueke hates them as well. Madueke bodying Cucurella early in the game. I did enjoy it. Caicedo conversations. Caicedo should never have been put in conversations with Declan Rice. It's as simple as that. It should never have been a conversation. You look at them last night, it's different gravy. Do you back Saka to turn up in the run-in? I do. Do you know something crazy I saw today? Basically, like, we've not seen Saka, Odegaard, and Havertz starting together since 23-24. The end of 23-24 was the last time that we properly saw Saka, Havertz, and Odegaard. If we can get Saka back, have Havertz back, up to speed, up to full fitness, firing, get Odegaard back to it as well, like, that's the last time that we were truly a fluid goal-scoring team. So, add that into the fact that you've then got behind you the solidity now of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, or Hincapié, Rice, Zubimendi. Crazy. Who was the Chelsea lad crying? Crocodile tears, surely. But we will drink them anyway. Well, the player Fofana was crying, which was a bit odd. But yeah, that was the player that was crying. Edwin, thank you very, very much for the $4.99. Hey, Rory, much love from here in New York. Thoughts on the signing and performances of Hincapié and how essential he'll be for the rest of the season? Yeah, I think the signing's excellent. I think if we end up, and we are basically guaranteed to sign him next summer for 45 million quid, like that was the deal. Technically, it's an option, but really it's an obligation the way it was written. 45 million quid for him, I think, is fantastic business. I think as someone that can play at left back, at left centre back, that has the athleticism he's got, that is as young as he still is, by the way. I think Hincapié is still 23. Maybe he's 20. How old is Hincapié? I think he's 23 still. He's 24. He turned 24 in January, so he's basically only just turned 24. Yeah, for me, I think it's a great signing, and I think his performances are getting better and better. I think in the Champions League knockout, if teams somehow don't beat us at their home, they're finished in the Emirates. Yeah, this is such a good point. Again, Edwin, by the way, thank you very much for the $4.99. This is such a good point. This is the advantage of us playing away from home first. For the way that we play, I think is so beneficial, because teams are going to have to do what Chelsea did, or what Chelsea tried to do when they played at home. And that is, you're going to have to try and beat us in that first leg. If you know, second leg, you're going to the Emirates, and if you're behind going to the Emirates, Arsenal will do to you what we did to Chelsea. You know that's so much trouble. So first leg at home is where you have to beat us, and you have to somehow try and put us out of the tie. Well, that's going to play into our hands, because teams are going to have to come on to us. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. By the way, appreciation for the community. One of the best out there. Civil and no spammers. Oh, 100%. The community we've got on this channel, genuinely, sometimes I drop into other people's YouTube channels, like various YouTube channels, and it's crazy how good the community here is. I love it. And by the way, if you want to join more of the community, the Discord is linked in the description. Constant Arsenal chat, football chat down in the Discord. So feel free to go and join that as well. Look at the ages of Saliba, Hincapié, Calafiori, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Marley Salmon. We've got the defence sorted for well over a decade. Oh, 100%. Even Jerry and Timber. People forget how young Jerry and Timber's still 24. Timber's 24, Hincapié's 24, Calafiori's what, 23 still? Yeah, Calafiori's 23. Saliba's what, 24? Is Saliba 24? Yeah, Saliba's 24, turns 25 next month. It's crazy. It's crazy. Odegaard injured. Yeah, look, let's get into the to the bits of news today. So, Mikel Arteta spoke about Odegaard and Saka yesterday. On Saka, now, we'd already heard from Simon Collins that Saka's expected to be out until the North London derby. Now, that will mean he misses 4 or 5 more games. Obviously, we're now playing Wolves in the midweek before the North London derby because that has to be rearranged. On Saka, though, Arteta said he's okay. We need to have more tests tomorrow to understand how he is. This game was too short. Let's hope that it's not too much. So that probably ties into what Simon Collins said in terms of it being about a 2-week injury. And on Odegaard, this was the big one because it was a surprise. Like, we knew about Saka. Odegaard just wasn't in the squad yesterday, kind of came out of nowhere. He said during the Leeds game, he felt a little twinge. He said, we tried yesterday and he wasn't comfortable. So let's see if he's available for the weekend, hopefully. If I'm honest, that doesn't scream that he's going to be available for the weekend. If he felt something muscular, that's going to have to be a quick turnaround. And I just don't think we risk him. We cannot afford to take risks on midfielders with Merino out for the season. Like, we just can't. And by the way, it sounds like Merino really could be fully out for the season. This injury's got. So, you know how we spoke about the fact on whatever day it was that Merino's injury, Arteta kept describing Merino's injury as rare and unusual. And so basically it is. The fracture is like at the bottom of his toes, like where your toes kind of join your feet. And it's really unusual. Especially in footballers. It's not a common injury, which makes it, it makes it difficult to have a timeline for a recovery because there's fewer examples for you to use. And B, it can just be a really frustrating injury to come back from. So that's not good with Merino, and it does mean we are going to have to be very careful with everyone else. Just got here. Have I missed much? No, not really. Just some yapping, to be honest with you. He got a stud on it. Well, yeah, but I think he's been playing through it. So I think this wasn't like suddenly he went from not injured at all to being injured. It sounds like this is more of like a stress fracture. So at some point there was probably some damage. He's played through it. Because apparently a lot of the time it can go undiagnosed as just like a sore foot, basically. So yeah, difficult to know. But this is why I didn't want Nwaneri going on loan. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those in hindsight. I mean, maybe there should have been a clause in it that we could bring him back. Difficult, you know. Do you miss Stefan? I do miss Stefan. I hope he's doing well. Beck, thank you very, very much for the $4.99. With Merino being injured for a minute, I hope Ezra will get more minutes consistently and starts. Still gutted for Merino. Yeah, I agree. Also gutted for Merino. And also, look, we're going to have to... The reality with Ezra is we're going to have to play him into form. We are going to have to play him into the role. And at the moment, I do think he's struggling. And Arteta himself spoke about this, right? So that's, in terms of why Ezra hasn't been starting much, it's because what we're seeing is something Arteta doesn't like. And that is Ezra struggling to get involved in the games as much. And yeah, he has moments, but at Arsenal, you need more than moments. You have to constantly be involved. So it's a difficult one, but I feel like the only way you're going to break through that barrier is by playing him, you know? Keeping him on the bench, I just don't think it's going to help anyone. Probably when Caicedo halved him. On Merino, yeah, you might be right. Actually. Although that was above his foot, really. That was more his ankle than his foot. This is more like the sort of top front of your foot. So maybe, who knows? Caicedo's challenge, I'm sure, didn't help. Do you know when Max Dowman is back? I believe he's in training, so I think that's going to be pretty soon. Did you see the Ethan tackle? No, I actually didn't. I heard about Nwaneri's tackle, but I didn't see it. Wait, let me see if I can quickly find it on Twitter now. I'll watch it. But I heard about it. Ooh, yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of it that does not look good. Yeah, that's... Wait, did he get sent off? No, he didn't get sent. He got a yellow card for it. Oh, there was no VAR. He got a booking and there was no VAR because it was in the cup. He's got away with one there. That's... I mean, it's one of those... Nah, because it looks quite late as well. Oh, well. He didn't get sent off, so... Happy days. Happy days. Downman to score in the final to win us the UCL. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. But I'd like him to play against Wigan, though. Wigan's on the horizon. And with Saka out injured, like previously, if Saka had been playing, the Wigan game I'd have been like, will you give that to Madueke, right? Rotating between Madueke and Saka. With Saka out, Madueke's going to, obviously played fair number of minutes yesterday, played at the weekend. He's going to play against Sunderland. He's going to play against Brentford. So, yeah, that Wigan game, if Downman is fit, could be a good opportunity for him to play. Are you concerned about the potential adrenaline dump from last night affecting our performance on Saturday? Yes. Yes, I am. My only who's Key Thomas? I've seen this a couple of times. Get Key Thomas on back post. I don't know who Key Thomas is. In the most respectful way, I don't watch that much content. Outside, there's literally a couple of YouTubers that I watch. So in the most respectful way, I'm not sure who that is. But if he's decent, why not? But no, he's a generational hater. Okay, maybe not then. He's a knob. Well, Simon, you're not getting much. You're not getting much support here, Simon. He's an utter Arsenal hater. He's a knobhead. He's a prick. Right, he's a melt. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Key, if you're watching, sorry. Sorry, Key. Insufferable Liverpool fan. Oh, God, he's getting absolute pelters. Oh, Simon. Simon, you've thrown him under the bus here. You've thrown him under the bus. Oh, dear. What was I saying? Oh, God, it's just a torrent of abuse. Love watching the back post and how it pains Seb and Tobes to mention the Goon Platoon. They love it, really. They love it, really. 540 people, 110 likes. Yeah, if you are here, please do like the video, the live stream. Please do subscribe if you're new. We're on the way to 33,000 subscribers. No, I was talking about the adrenaline dump and just the general... Yesterday... I think it sapped a lot out of some of those players. Declan Rice looked dead on his feet at the end of the game. He spoke to CBS after the game, and the first thing he said, he was like, I am exhausted. Martinelli ran himself into the ground. Now, with certain players, like Martinelli, fine, Trossard will start on Sunday. I would imagine Trossard would have started on Sunday anyway, so not the end of the world. But I do think Rice, Zubimendi, Jurrien Timber. If Jurrien Timber's meant to start again on Saturday, that could be an issue. That is probably it, to be fair. Madueke put a shift in before he went off, but he should be all right. Eza, if he has to play another full 90. Yeah, I do think some of them will be dead on their feet. Even Gabriel and Saliba, to be honest, they do play a lot of minutes. Yeah, look, we'll do the preview later in the week. We'll do the preview on Friday, but I would probably be looking at Ben White starting the game. I don't think Sunderland away from home, I don't think they're going to be massively attacking. I think we'll benefit more from what Ben White offers offensively. So, yeah. But I do worry that you can't have too many games like that. Games like Leeds, they're the games I want. Professional, calm, not pumped up, not high adrenaline. Because after a game like last night, and look, it's amazing, right? The moment is amazing. Being in the stadium for the goal, quality. But when it's every 3 days and you got to pump yourself back up, it can be difficult. I saw some. Where's it gone? Inject the John Terry video into my veins. The craziest thing about that John Terry video is the fact he decided to upload it. If you're not seeing it, John Terry got his phone out to record, and he does this thing, and it's crazy that he does it, to be honest, because if I did it, I'm pretty sure my channel would get taken down for copyright. But he films himself kind of watching games with the games on in the background, and at times he'll just he's just filming himself turned around watching the TV with the TV on in the background. And he was doing it at the end of the game, hoping that Chelsea would score. And then obviously we go on the break. Rice plays it into Havertz. John Terry's instantly going, he's offside. Don't worry, he's offside. He's offside. This won't count. He's offside. And yeah, it's just. But then the fact that he's decided to upload that video is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That was hilarious. It had to be Kai of all people too. Oh, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Sunderland are a completely different team on the road. They are, but I don't want to take that completely for granted. They look good against Burnley, to be honest with you. So I don't want to take it completely for granted. That they'll be poor on Saturday. I hope they are. His daughter's probably really embarrassed. How you have Rory? Have you centre backs? How he got roughed up at the Emirates last night? Eh? I don't know what you mean. I'm confused by the wording of the question. Are you talking about Arsenal centre-backs getting roughed up? I mean, I thought João Pedro was good, to be fair. I thought João Pedro was good against Gabriel and Saliba. Jennings' meltdown was spectacular. Yeah. The Rosenior touch. The Rosenior touch. Absolutely sensational. Shinned it. Cost them more time than if he had just let it go. CB, the Chelsea fan YouTube content creator. Wait, what was your original thing? Rory, have you... Oh, CB got roughed up at the Emirates, and he's a creator. I've not seen that. No, I've not seen that. Sorry. So a Chelsea content creator got roughed up at the Emirates. Well, you know, I'm sure. Hopefully he's all right. I don't know how badly he got roughed up, but hopefully he's all right. Jennings uploaded an entire video dedicated to his hatred of Kai Havertz. The amount of Chelsea fans that came out after the game talking about how much they hate us. Oh, they hate us so much. They hate us. They hate us. They hate us. I would hate us too. They've not won in 10 games. CB got into a fight with fellow Chelsea fans. Oh, that's not my problem then. That's not my problem. If it was other Chelsea fans, that's not my problem. Yeah, if Arsenal had gone 10 games without winning against the team, I would also hate them. That's just how it is. So I don't blame them. Did you speak already about Odegaard? Yeah, with Odegaard, Arteta said during the Leeds game he felt a twinge. We tried yesterday and he wasn't comfortable. Let's see if he's available for the weekend. I don't think he'll be available for the weekend, to be honest. Based on the wording of that, but we'll see. On to another couple of bits and pieces, right? So, obviously, there was that whole thing with Tonali on deadline day, right? Where we had this random link to Tonali that came out through Sky, and then everyone kind of thought it was nonsense. And then Ornstein came out and said Tonali's agent had offered Tonali to Arsenal. Excuse me. And then Tonali's agent denied it and said none of that ever happened, completely made it up, which, like, obviously you're like, well, Ornstein's just not going to have made that up. That's not what David Ornstein does. And also it makes you look like a complete mug that you've offered Tonali to another club and now he's getting a load of backlash, right? So obviously the agent was lying. But David Ornstein has said this. He said, there was a quote. This came out today from Ornstein. He said, there was a quote from Tonali's representative, or someone regarded as his representative, claiming that they hadn't spoken to Arsenal. However, we absolutely stand by our reporting. The situation was pretty clear. After doing our checks, it was confirmed and made abundantly clear that Sandro Tonali's agent had offered him to Arsenal and to Andrea Berta. Tonali is a player of interest to Arteta and Arsenal, and so they looked into it. So, fact. Tonali's agent offered him to Arsenal, right? Now, on that, there are two things. Firstly, I do think we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. I don't think it will be attainable in the summer because you're looking. He's got like 4 years on his deal at Newcastle. You're probably looking at easily they'll want to make their money back. Probably more. You're looking at 70, 80 million quid probably, right? I don't think we're going to do that for a player that isn't guaranteed to start in our midfield. I think the reason that they approached Arsenal was because Mikel Merino had just got injured. I think that is they found out on that day, Mikel Merino's injured. Maybe Arsenal go crazy and go and get Tonali. In the summer, I would imagine he's offered to quite a few more clubs. But it's there. It's interesting. It is interesting. Ornstein stands on business. Yeah, I love Ornstein's the GOAT. Like if you're questioning Ornstein, just know that whatever you're questioning, he's right and the other person's wrong. Daryl, thank you very, very much for the $5.99. Please help us understand this ballot stuff. I watched your TikTok, but basically, if I check the ballot every day all year, must be missing something. So the ballot's normally on a Friday. So normally the ballot comes out on a Friday. It runs until at about 10 a.m. It runs until maybe it's 8 a.m. Runs until about 8 a.m. on a Monday. But normally I always check on a Friday. My routine is sometime during the day on a Friday, I go and check if there are any ballots. The way you do it, you go on to tickets and ballots and you scroll down because the ballot for, it's normally like 6 weeks in advance, right? So I mean, we're running out of games left this season, to be honest with you, but it's normally about 6 weeks in advance. So you have to scroll down. It won't be at the top of the tickets and ballots page. You have to scroll down and if there's one on, you'll see enter red ballot. You'll see a thing that says that game is currently, the red ballot is open. So yeah, that's basically that. It's 8 weeks in advance, isn't it? It depends. They try and get as far ahead as they can, but then because of scheduling and stuff, it ends up more often than not ending up in about 6 weeks. Not sure why we don't play Norgard more often. I agree. I've been saying this all season with Norgard. I have been saying it all season. Like, realistically, we cannot play Zubimendi and Rice every game until the end of the season. Like, it's just not tenable at all. So we are going to have to start selecting games that Norgard plays in. And it can't just be Kairat Almaty, Wigan, Portsmouth. It's going to have to start being games like Brentford away, West Ham when we played them, Wolves away. There are going to have to be games like that where we're going to have to go, look, we've got to play Norgard here. Because otherwise you're risking a much, much worse situation where a Rice gets injured for a month or 2 months. So, yeah, I completely agree. The other bit of news, little bit of transfer news was on Ayyoub Bouaddi, who, again, there's been a lot of noise around Ayyoub Bouaddi and Arsenal without much substance, really. Ryan Taylor, though, saying Arsenal are due to assess a possible move for Ayyoub Bouaddi in the coming months. Initial loose talks have already taken place with his entourage, but there is currently no guarantee that those exploratory talks will develop into something more. Chelsea are also tracking Bouaddi, but sources close to the player have intimated that it's likely to be a straight shootout between PSG and Arsenal if both of those clubs decide to formalise their interest. So basically, he's got no interest in going to Chelsea because why on earth would you? And if Arsenal are there and PSG are there, it's going to be a straight shootout between the two of us. So that would be pretty interesting. We can't risk any big injuries because it's getting close to the crunch time. Yeah, 100%. You can't. And that's why, like, Odegaard, I'd like Odegaard to start. I think Odegaard against Sunderland would be a big player for us. But if he's feeling something and it's tight, you cannot risk having him out for like a month because then you're playing Eze every single game. Bouaddi just screams PSG player. Yeah, true. Sleeper FC made a post on YouTube. Check it out. Saying that if Arsenal win the next 26 games, obviously they're allowed to draw and maybe lose 1 or 2 in the Premier League, we could be quadruple winners. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's 1 game to go in the Carabao Cup. If we win that, that's a trophy. There are, at most, 7 games to go in the Champions League. And we don't technically need to win all of them. We need to win 4 of them. Win 4 of the games in the Champions League. Draw the away leg in each of the knockout stages. Win the home leg. FA Cup, 4 games to go. Premier League. Like, it's not that far. But it is far. And that's the thing. And when people start getting carried away about quadruples and stuff, It's not far, but it's so far. Because every single one of these games, even last night, right? We dominated Chelsea. We didn't dominate. We controlled Chelsea is what I would say. We didn't dominate them at all. That was the wrong word. We controlled them. We kept them at bay. We did what we needed to do. But one of those Enzo Fernandez shots from the edge of the box where he did have a fair bit of time and space, one of those goes in, and I've seen Kepa be beaten from distance plenty of times. Different game. Different game. So, you know, with all cup competitions, with all knockout fixtures, you never know. You never know. Who would you start at striker for Saturday? I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it before the preview. We need to wrap up the Prem in the next 10 game weeks. This weekend, I think it's huge. Beat Sunderland. I don't see City getting all 3 points at Anfield. If we can come out of this weekend with an 8 or 9 point lead over City, that'll be monumental. Because that'll get to the point where, like, you know that point we were last season? Do you remember that point last season where we were far enough behind Liverpool that we went, we're not going to win the league. Focus on the Champions League. Man City are not far away from that right now. They're definitely not. Will Red members have a chance at tickets to the Cup final? No. Not in a million years. Arsenal are probably going to get about 32,000 tickets. There are 40,000 season ticket holders who are the priority tickets. Then it will go to silver members. Then it will go to red members. Unfortunately, there's no way it's reaching red members. And I'm a red member, so I'm going to have to try and get a ticket somewhere else. But please, can you adjust the blue ball on the back post? Love the content, though. Ben, I appreciate it. Yes, I can try and get that. To be fair, I think we're going to change the whole background at some point soon anyway. But yeah, Villa are not title contenders. City keep messing up. We have to win. I hope so. Rory got those connections, though. Honestly, if there's one benefit, it is the fact that I can hopefully pull some strings. I wonder if Thomas Frank will get one as he's a silver member. He will. Maybe I'll ask Thomas Frank. For his ticket. How do you upgrade the membership tier? You can't. You can't do more to become a silver member. I think you basically randomly become a silver member. I don't actually fully know how it works, but you basically, if you're a red member for long enough, you become a silver member. Or I think if you're a junior gunner, you can automatically become a silver member once you're an adult, I think. But yeah. There's been no fans at Wembley since 2017. No chance. Only if we get there every year, it will go down. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've been there a couple of times for the Community Shield, but I agree. Silver member takes 10 to 15 years. Yeah. Do you know if my friend who's a silver member adds me to his ballot application if it gives me a better chance? Yeah, probably. Well, you probably won't get it. There won't be a ballot is the only issue. I don't think there's going to be a ballot. So, yeah. I want to see you and Tabolos do some type of collab. Would be really nice. I met him, actually. Really nice guy. I met him on a Zach Jalab shoot. Yeah, very nice guy. Could happen at some point. Let's not forget, Teta's never lost at Wembley. Hey, we've got Wembley. And also, obviously, we'll be watching it tonight. I mean, I can't imagine Newcastle make a comeback against City. If Newcastle were full strength, maybe. But they're missing their entire midfield, basically. I think them other than Tonali, they're missing Bruno G and Joel Linton and Lewis Miley. So, yeah, I don't see Newcastle overturning that at the Etihad. But against City aren't going to have Gahey. He's not allowed to play in the final. So there's definitely an opportunity. Are you hoping for Newcastle or City? Like we probably would have a better chance of beating Newcastle this season. Obviously, last season they dumped us out in the semis, but I honestly don't mind. And the flip side is I would love it if we beat City in a cup final, beat City in a title race. If we end up there, knock them out of the Champions League. I'd love it. I'm a silver member, got it from being a junior gunner. My dad got it as a 12-year red member. There you go, 12 years, yeah. Ian, thank you very, very much for being a member for 12 months. It's your 1-year anniversary, Ian. What an absolute legend. Stuart Robson, ESPN UK, said that Gyökeres didn't have a good heat map in a game where we crossed the halfway line about 5 times in the entire game. #Cope. Yeah, there was some other nonsense about Gyökeres as well. There was a thing about how Gyökeres had only had 1 touch of the ball, and it was literally, that was like 5 minutes after he'd literally taken 4 or 5 touches of the ball and won a free kick. It's like, what are you on about? Yeah, there's some nonsense. But Ian, I appreciate you being a member for a year. Absolute legend. Imagine playing City 5 times more this season. Champions League twice, Prem, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Yeah, it would be crazy. If people stopped hating on Arsenal, we could make an argument that we are watching the greatest defensive team of all time that somehow knows how to control football and defend end to end. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I don't think we are watching the best defensive team of all time. Like, truthfully, I think, the Chelsea record holders that conceded 15 goals, I think that's a better defense. I think even at a time, Vidic, Ferdinand, Van der Sar, they went on an unbelievable run of clean sheets. What I would say is that Arsenal's all-round ability to control games is excellent. It is excellent. Same as the fact that Sky posted a few years ago about Havertz not making a pass against Man City, despite the fact that there was video evidence of him making 2 passes. Yeah, it's nonsense. Sometimes it's nonsense. Gary Neville said Arsenal are playing like they're a goal ahead. Honestly, the guy's stealing a living. Yeah, some of those quotes from Gary Neville were crazy. Like, the cliff edge one was the one that got me, because it was like, a cliff edge was actually a good analogy for the tie. But it was literally Chelsea that were going to the cliff edge. Like, Chelsea were the ones that were at the cliff edge was the end of the competition, right? The cliff edge is you go over the cliff edge, you're out of the competition. And as the game went on and it was still 0-0, Chelsea were the ones getting closer and closer to the cliff edge. Like, insane. Insane. Why are you not at the back post stream? That was the only thing that made yesterday's game enjoyable for me as a neutral. I was at the game. I've always said I will not do I did it for the Kairat game, but generally speaking, I will not do a watch along instead of a home game. Like, I go to the games. I'm not going to change that for content. For me, it's Arsenal first, always. Not content. And that was a cup semi-final. So, but we are doing a watch along on Sunday for Liverpool versus Man City. Commentary's useless. Yeah. I would argue our defense is better than those teams because of our longevity. Terry and Carvalho was 2 years ridiculous, and Rio were 3 years, but ours will be for another 3 or 4. Oh, for sure. From what we can build on, 100%. Because we could have the best defense in the league for the next 5 years. And the numbers that they would end up with in terms of, like, clean sheets. I mean, the numbers that Gabriel and Saliba could end up with clean sheets as a partnership, things like that. Oh, 100%. 100%. Why do you think our left side is still weaker despite a lot of investment? Because we've never invested in an elite level left winger. We were very fortunate that we developed an elite level right winger in Bukayo Saka. The sort of player that, truthfully, to get him at least at the level that he was over the last couple of years as an English player at that age, you'd need to spend 100 million quid to go and get him, right? We've not done that on the left wing. We spent 7 million quid on Martinelli and developed him. We bought Leandro Trossard from Brighton in his late 20s. And that is the area and the one signing that I do think is the next big one. I think that's the next area of the pitch where you go, we can spend a big chunk here. And for me, that would be Kenan Yildiz. And that would make a huge difference. But even in that, I do actually think at points this season, our left-hand side has been more effective than our right-hand side. There was a good period of Trossard and Calafiori playing really well together. So I don't think our left side has been as bad. I think our left side was a lot worse last season, to be honest with you. Elite left wing or elite cam? Left wing. Left wing. And I'll tell you why. Ethan Nwaneri, I think, will be a £100 million player. Max Dowman will be a £100 million player. They're going to play centrally. So you've got them in the pipeline. We don't have a left winger in the pipeline that's already at the club. So yeah. Barcola over Yildiz for me. Yildiz is, for me, for you. For me, Yildiz is a fair bit better as an all-round player. Like, I think he's all-round. Barcola, I think, is quicker. He's got that raw pace. I think he's less consistent. And I don't think his all-round technical game is as good as Yildiz. Yildiz is a wonderful player to watch. Do you think Trossard or Martinelli leaves at the end of the season for Yildiz? Yeah. I think Jesus leaves. I think at least one of Trossard and Martinelli leave. I do think that's going to happen. Yeah. How do you get tickets on a Red membership? I never see anything on the exchange other than club level. You spend a lot of time on the exchange. You could spend half an hour on the exchange and one ticket that's not club level comes up and you click it and you don't get it. Like, it's brutal, especially at the moment, and it's only going to get worse. Everyone now wants a ticket to every game because it looks like we're going to win the league and they want to say that they went. So it's harder now than... It's pretty much the last time it was this difficult was, 23-24, the run-in in 23-24, and before that, the run-in of 22-23. But the run-in of 22-23 was before the ballot system. So that was when, to get tickets then, they'd go on sale at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and you'd have to get in a queue. And it was much more like Ticketmaster, basically, if you're trying to get like concert tickets. You get in a queue, and you try and get your ticket at 10 a.m. when they go on sale. And it was carnage. Yildiz doesn't make sense, though. He's best as an inside 10, just like Eze. Putting him wide would nullify his qualities. No, he can definitely... for me, he can definitely play wide to a level that Eze can't. And I think with Calafiori and Hincapié, you'll benefit from someone that wants to go inside anyway. I don't particularly want just like a touchline winger. Like, we've got that in Martinelli, and it doesn't often work, in my opinion. Anyway, look, it is time for the quiz. There's 575 of you here, by the way. Unbelievable for just a normal stream. If you could please like the stream, please do subscribe. We're on the way to 33,000 subscribers. And get your fingers on your keyboards for today's quiz question. As always, the first person to get it right in the chat wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. Today's quiz question is this. Arsenal signed Granit Xhaka from Borussia Mönchengladbach. But who did he play for before he joined them? Arsenal signed Granit Xhaka from Borussia Mönchengladbach. But who did he play for before he joined them? That is your question. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Loads of you getting it right very quickly. Very quickly indeed. It was quite an easy question. I'll be honest with you, I panicked with about 30 seconds to go before the stream. But the first person to get it right is Guna. It is Guna. RH was second. Peter Holmes was third. Ethan Udall was fourth. And Diego Bone was fifth. There you go. Congratulations to Guna. Very well done. What a lame question. Do better. I apologize. It's been a busy day. I was in a rush. It wasn't a great quiz question. I apologize. The only Swiss team that we know. Yeah, to be fair, that's a bad... I'll be honest with you, right? There you go. VAR, goal given. Kai Havertz and Alpaca. Give Kai Havertz an alpaca. There you go. Thank you, Ross, for the VAR check. That was a bad quiz question because even if you didn't know the answer, Basel would probably be your first guess. So that's a bad quiz question from me because you'd guess it even if you didn't know it, and that doesn't make a good quiz question. Prediction for the game tonight: I think City are going to win it like 2-0. To be honest with you. I think Newcastle will overcommit. Haaland will score on the break, and then they'll get another one. I think they'll win 2-0. In fact, what I think will happen is Man City will win 2. Man City will go 2-0 up inside the first half, and then just to avoid the aggregate scoreline being embarrassing, Newcastle won't really push them in the second half. That's my prediction. Anyway, look, that is going to be the end of the stream. I massively appreciate all of you joining. Hell of a stream. Unbelievable numbers. As always, please do like, please do subscribe, all of that good stuff. Discord is linked down in the description below. We will be back 5 p.m. tomorrow as normal. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic evening. And goodbye.